Welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to Sunday's edition of the dceu Daily. And today we're going to talk about Matt Reeves and J.J. Abrams' huge DC Universe plan, because I think it's pretty clear now, to me at least, with what I'm hearing from behind the scenes, that J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves are developing and creating their own DC Universe, their central Earth One. Now, I've mentioned this a little bit on this channel before and on the dceu Daily, that Matt Reeves is creating his own DC Universe, and it was even more clearer for me when we saw pictures of Wonder Woman and Superman, people dressed up at a Halloween party in the Batman as Superman and as Wonder Woman. It's pretty obvious that those characters exist in Matt Reeves' The Batman universe. And I also said this to you quite a while back. It was my theory that J.J. Abrams' Superman, which is almost definitely going to happen, and which he's developing right now behind the scenes without it being announced yet, will be in the same universe as Matt Reeves' The Batman. So Matt Reeves' The Batman and J.J. Abrams' Superman, in my opinion, and the information that's coming to me, is that their Superman and Batman will be in the same universe. So it looks like J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves are developing their own DC Earth One, which is extremely exciting. Now, a lot of people will find that maybe they won't be excited about that. Maybe you feel that Zack Snyder's universe should be Earth One. Well, that's not going to be the case anymore. Zack himself has already said quite a while back that his Snyderverse is now an Elseworld story. You've got to understand that Zack has spoken to Walter Hamada, HBO Max and Warner Media about this already. Now, I don't know, and nobody knows, and Zack claims he doesn't know, if we're going to get more Zack Snyder DC movies. And this is the thing we're all fighting about and fighting for, but that remains to be seen. And it's all about Zack Snyder's Justice League and how well that does. I don't have any doubts that Zack Snyder's Justice League will be a huge success, allowing Ben Affleck to do his Batman movie, the Batman movie he was originally going to do, straight to streaming on HBO Max. And for the people, the doubters, the non-believers who say he's too busy, Ben Affleck dropped everything to do reshoots for Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think that should tell you a bit more about that. I've already had someone block me because I kind of mocked him because he was going around saying it's not going to happen, he's doing too many projects. And someone else who clearly supports this person was giving me a list of all the projects. And I've explained this before. Just because projects are announced for an actor or director doesn't mean he's going to do them all. Also, they're well spread out. So if anything else comes out, they can take a back seat to what the person wants to do next. So there's no question about it. Ben Affleck has never taken that off the table. I know he said he doesn't want to do any more Armageddon-type movies, but he's not ruling out DC. Now, we know he came out and said he wasn't Batman ages ago and said that he wasn't passionate about that world anymore. Well, to be honest with you, he must be a little bit passionate to come back and do reshoots for Zack Snyder's Justice League. And so, basically, I believe Zack Snyder's Justice League will be a record-breaking success, which will allow Zack to do more. And the people that he cast and brought with him to do more, including Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is a maligned figure within the DCEU. And, you know, we haven't seen him as Superman since 2017's Justice League. And we're going to see him in Zack Snyder's Justice League. That should create more hunger to see him again. I don't foresee Henry Cavill being J.J. Abrams' Superman. I don't foresee Henry Cavill being the Earth One Superman. And as we've discussed before, it's going to be interesting where this leaves Momoa and Gadget's Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Now, we've already been told by the New York Times article that they will remain in Earth One. So, and again, Flashpoint will make things a lot more clearer where everyone's going to be after that movie. So that's incredibly interesting. But it is my theory, and all the kind of information I'm getting, that J.J. Abrams' Superman and Matt Reeves' Batman are in the same universe, and they're developing their own universe. And I believe that will be Earth 1. And so that's really interesting. And so I can't wait to see Matt Reeves the Batman to see if I'm right or wrong about this, because who knows? We may get a cameo from J.J. Abrams and Superman. Now, a lot of people have been talking about Matt Reeves only doing a trilogy and only being interested in a trilogy, but that can't be true because he's doing a Gotham PD show for HBO Max. He's part of this process, which Walter Hamada has already discussed. As he said, for every movie we're doing, we're trying to figure out how to do a spin-off for it. And so Matt Reeves must be part of that agenda because, as I say, he's doing this Gotham PD spin-off from his Batman universe. Now, whether or not we get some kind of Superman J.J. Abrams spin-off for HBO Max, I don't know. Remains to be seen. I think yes. Now, J.J. Abrams brought everything with him to Warner Media. He did a great deal, a very profitable deal with Warner Media, and he wouldn't have done that for no reason. You know, J.J. Abrams was in a very, very bad place after the Star Wars sequel trilogy. I believe that he never had the creative and artistic freedom to do his Star Wars, even in The Force Awakens. Yes, his handprints are all over it with all the mystery box stuff we saw in The Force Awakens, but I don't think he had the freedom to do his own trilogy. Well, we know that. I don't need to not think that. It's obvious that that's the case. So now he's at Warner Media, where he's developing several DC projects and other stuff for HBO Max. Very, very exciting as well, because for me, a lot of people are quite negative about JJ, but for me, he's always been in my top 3 creatives. My top 3 creatives right now are Zack Snyder, Russell T Davies, who brought back Doctor Who, and J.J. Abrams. In fact, I've probably mentioned this before on this channel, I'm rewatching Alias. You know, and if you've ever seen Alias, you know what a genius this man is. And he was also the co-creator and co-developer of Lost. In fact, he came up with the whole island being a mystery thing as well. So the man's a genius. There's no question about that. And Mission Impossible 3 is a really good film, and he's done other good films as well. And so I don't have any doubts about JJ's ability to create a brilliant, a DC Earth 1 and with Matt Reeves. I think it's going to be incredible. It's a shame that his original Superman script wasn't made. So much went on during that. McGee was going to do it. Someone else was going to do it. They were looking for people to play Superman. One of those people was Henry Cavill. But I must say, a lot of people are adding 2 and 2 together and making 4 because JJ was never part of the casting process for that Superman movie, that Superman flyby. Now, we've read that script out here together on the DCEU Daily here on my channel, Big Mouth. And I really like that story. One of the things I came up with in one of my stories was that Kal-El returns to Krypton at the end of the movie, which he does in Superman Flyby. I came up with that idea before I'd even read JJ's idea. It's different. It's controversial for Krypton not to be destroyed. I would be quite happy for the canon to change there. I think quite a big thing for Superman to have to choose between Earth and Krypton at an end of a Superman movie. And so it'll be very interesting what kind of Superman film JJ is developing. Because he said during his process for Superman Flyby, we want to make something. We don't want to make an awkward experience. We want to make an enjoyable experience for the fans. We want everyone to like it. We're not trying to be controversial here, although not destroying Krypton is controversial. In fact, during the production of Man of Steel, there was a rumor that in that film, Krypton was not going to be destroyed, and diehard Superman fans were losing their shit. I was actually hoping and praying the rumor was true, because we've seen that, and it's cool. We've seen it in all the live-action versions, Lois and Clark, the George Reeves show, Smallville. the Donnerverse, so we've seen it there. So there's nothing wrong doing something different as long as you're not doing it just to be different, right? It's actually, you're doing it for a reason. And I believe Abrams was doing that for a reason. So I would be absolutely fine with that. And slowly but surely, this multiverse strategy is taking shape. If you want to look into a clue about this with Matt Reeves, the Batman, what I'm calling the Earth 1 universe, the actor who played the actor who played one of the thugs in the trailer in the Batman will be playing Tim Drake in Titans, which I'm totally fine with. So you can have a situation where different actors are playing different parts in the multiverse. That's kind of interesting. But he could actually be Tim Drake seeping through seeping through the multiverse, as Flashpoint will open up the doors of the multiverse as well. So that could be an interesting concept. So I like that. So with that casting, there's a clue that there's a prefix here to do that kind of thing. I like the idea. It'd be kind of fun to see Tom Welling play another role in the multiverse, but us knowing he's played Clark Kent and Superman and Kal-El, the last son of Krypton. And so that is great. And so things are starting to take shape. And when I think about, and as I say, I don't know if this is true, that J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves are developing their own DC Earth 1. I hope they are. From what I'm being told, I think they are, but that's from my point of view. So it doesn't mean it's a fact. So let's be clear about that before you go off slaughtering me. This is just my theory and opinion. I would like this to happen. It's clear that Zack Snyder's Snyderverse is not going to be Earth 1. And right now you'll be shouting at me saying it should be. It was Earth 1. It would have continued being Earth 1, but that has gone. Let's just be grateful we are getting Zack Snyder's Justice League. But Matt Reeves and J.J. Abrams have worked together before, and so I'm quite happy that these two could be working in developing a DC Earth 1. And my imagination is running away with me every time I sit and close my eyes and think about it, what kind of DC Earth 1 it could be. Now, does this mean his J.J. Abrams' Justice League Dark is also an Earth 1 story? Not necessarily, but that is an interesting discussion to have later down the road. We haven't heard very much about J.J. Abrams' Justice League Dark. It is still in development. As you know with J.J. Abrams, ever since his success with Alias and Lost, as a producer, he's had his fingers in a lot of pies. He still has. This delays his process of writing and directing any movie, which makes it kind of problematic. But I'd rather someone take their time developing an Earth 1 of DC, of developing a Superman movie. But if my theory is true, and his Superman and Matt Reeves' Batman are from the same universe, I think it's going to be really, really exciting. Now, finally today, we are back on the old Snyder Cut subject. So as soon as it was announced that Zack Snyder's Justice League would release on HBO Max exclusively on March the 18th, there was a little event over on Twitter, which was just merely called the Snyder Cup. In fact, I think it's still trending. So congratulations to whoever got that started. I think it was Fiona, and I think it was the RT Snyder Cup account, who are, again, doing a great job. It's never nice when RT Snyder Cup go quiet. I do like to see them out there. It inspires me. Now, there's a bit of an issue. If you remember, I did a Justice League update video yesterday, today, or whatever timeline you're in. And I read out where it's going to be available. Now, we know we haven't heard anything about the UK, nothing about here in Cyprus where I am. I've made my position perfectly clear. By hook or by crook, I will watch this. Now, I'd rather watch it down in a way I'm supposed to watch it and not break any rules, but I'm not going to sit there and not watch this while everybody else is. And I think you would agree that that's fair enough. Anyway, a fan said this, tagging HBO Max amongst others. To all Indian Zack Snyder's Justice League fans, we must ask them to release the Snyder Cut to India. Tag Jason Keeler, AT&T HBO Max, Warner Media, HBO Asia, Inside HBO Max Help. So HBO Max Help responded by saying this: "We understand how excited you are to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max and are working hard to make it available to as many fans as possible. Thank you for your patience." Well, as possible, as many countries as possible. That means it's literally impossible that this is going to be available on HBO Max for the whole world globally. Now, this is where when people complain about the studio and HBO Max, they've got a point, because they're running themselves short. Now, clearly, March the 18th is a date where they feel they can sort this situation out. And it is an important situation. I can't imagine in the UK you won't be able to watch it. Now, I was told that HBO Max in the UK is an impossibility because of Sky's deal with HBO. Now, this means more than probably you will be watching Zack Snyder's Justice League on Sky Atlantic, which is a conglomerate merger between HBO and Sky. And that's why Sky get HBO's content on Sky Atlantic exclusively. So I would expect you all to be able to see Zack Snyder's Justice League on Sky Atlantic. I've mentioned that before. Here in Cyprus, I have no idea. Will it be available in theatres out here? Will I be able to rent it digitally? Will I be able just to buy it on hard copy to keep? I'd rather the latter. I'd rather be able to keep it on hard copy and not worry about the other stuff. But also, I'd love to see it in a movie theatre over here. If that's possible, I'll definitely take advantage of that. But right now, it's all up in the air, and it shouldn't be. Once you announce a release date, all your consumers should know how and where they're going to be able to watch it. And personally, I think this is a bit shabby by HBO Max and Warner Media. As much as I love them, as much as I stand them, as much as I defend them, this kind of thing is a little bit messy and a little bit unprofessional. And so I want to hear news of this as soon as possible. And if I hear something before it's out there, I will certainly let you know. Rumour from Grace Randolph, again, she's a bit like Marmite. Sometimes she's right, sometimes she's wrong, sometimes she tastes terrible. She's predicting that the next Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer will release on Valentine's Day, February the 14th. And I would love that. You get it? Valentine's Day? Love? Never mind. So that's all for today. I want to hear your comments about my thoughts about J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves developing a DC universe together. Comment down below about that. How do you feel if you're from a territory that you're unsure how you're going to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League? Do you agree? Do you think it's a little bit shabby and unprofessional by Warner's? I think so. So comment down below, like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with even more DCEU Daily. See you again soon.